The Brad Johnson Show. I'm turning losers like you into winners like me. You're about to enter the winning zone.
Most people don't realize the kind of value that is encapsulated in this thing that I call me. And I have actually taken some of that value and I've exported it out of me and into the world via what is known as the Brad Johnson Show video course. Now, this thing, I cannot express to you how amazing it is. It's hosted on Thinkific, which, was just kind of a simplicity choice. I was going to just create my own software for hosting it, the course and all that sort of thing. But, as an entrepreneur, you got to pick and choose what things you think are worth your time. Now, something that is definitely worth my time is listening to dolphin noises while I do my stretches in the morning. Something like that is definitely worth my time. But building a platform when somebody else already has a platform that's okay, not as good as I would make it, but still decent, is something that I just had to make that choice, and so I did because I'm really good at making choices as well. So. The Brad Johnson Show course, video course is available. You can get it, but I just want to give you a little sneak peek at episode 4 here today. And this episode, oh man, we've touched on the topic of clickbait before in the podcast, but here in this video, in the video course, we actually go into so much more detail. And there's something about a video course where you actually are able to see people's reaction when they see clickbait and interact with it. It really brings things to a whole new level. So what you're getting right now is just a tiny little sample of the course. You can get the full rest of the episode here by clicking the button down below in the show notes. Do that, please do that. Like I've said before, we are down to one episode a week, which is tragic for you, for the listeners. It's tragic for me because, people don't think about the fact that I have all this wisdom bottled up and I can only export it like once a week. So you really need to help me out with that. And you can do that by purchasing the Brad Johnson course, getting the full course, and you get all the extra bonus stuff that comes along with that. So do that, or you can just go to anchor.fm/Brad-Johnson-show and click on support the show. Whatever you can do to support the show will help us go back to 2 episodes a week and continue doing the Brad Johnson Show for hours and hours to come. So hope you guys enjoy this little sneak peek, and make sure to click that button down below, check out the course on Thinkific, and make it happen, people. So without further ado, here is a sneak peek of episode 4 of the Brad Johnson Show video course. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the next episode of the course, and that's why you're watching it. It's because this is the next one following the one that you just watched. We're on to the 4th key to success. This is about becoming a clickbait master. Now, when I say clickbait master, I think most people don't understand that I'm not talking about just being able to write good clickbait. I'm talking about mastering it. Now, that is something that's beyond the scope of things that most people do. Exactly. So, we're getting into this here in a minute. But first, just a little quick recap. You guys have already completed keys 1 through 3, so your door is beginning to almost be halfway unlocked, which is absolutely incredible, very exciting, very exciting. Can you imagine being almost halfway to unlocking success?
You should be proud of yourselves.
You should be proud of me for giving you all this information, because there's so much here, so much, and I'm so excited to bring it to you because you need it more than anybody else I know. So today we're getting into this. We talked about sales. Now, sales can only take you so far if you don't have clickbait. Now, I like to look at clickbait as kind of an outboard motor on your ship. Okay? So your sales are catching the wind and pushing you forward, but what happens when there's no wind?
Yeah,
James, what happens?
Well, the ship sinks immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how sailing works.
Nautical knowledge coming to play right there, that if you don't have wind, you're going to sink. Because your boat has to be moving. It's like a shark. If a shark isn't moving forward, it's moving backwards or down, or it's going up or as well. Yeah, or sideways sometimes.
Yeah, it all makes sense.
Yeah. So you need an outboard motor, and that is where clickbait comes in. Clickbait is the outboard motor that just purrs along, right, just pushing you forward to where you need to go. So we're gonna
an extra push.
Yeah, we're gonna get into this. I love clickbait. It's one of my favorite things. It's one of the best tactics for selling stuff online, because if you're good like I am at just selling stuff, then it's not hard and you can just do it. but sometimes you're not. So you need to go through this clickbait class so that you know how to do that, so that you can have clickbait that'll get people to click. So let's break down actually the etymology of the word clickbait, which basically is clicking on bait. So bait is it's similar to waiting, but baiting and waiting they're very similar in their etymology. It means to lie in wait with a juicy thing that the prey would want.
So like a bite of meat, and that's what bait is.
Basically, yes. So if you took a bite and then spit it out, that would be bait.
Makes
So,
sense.
all right. So, the best way to teach clickbait, and I know this because I've done so much teaching of clickbaits, and I've done so much learning of clickbait as well. It's been a foundational piece of my business, honestly, has been clickbait. So, in order to do that, the best way to teach it is to give examples. So, we're pulling these from where, James? This is
So this is from Medium.com.
Medium. Okay, they're a very high-profile blogging site that a lot of high-profile people blog at. I don't have time. I was on it, number one writer on it, pretty sure, for quite a while, and then I was just like, this is boring, and I moved on to the next thing.
Yeah.
So
So he created his own exclusive platform for his writing.
It's just called Hot. So why have Medium when you could be hot?
Exactly.
All right, so let us move on to these 9 principles of clickbait. So this is stuff that you need to learn so that you can become the best clickbait master out there. So it's not just good enough to become good at clickbait. You got to be a master, okay?
Right.
Master. All right, so let's do this. Number 1.
Number 1, you have to have shocking, amazing, or unbelievable results.
Okay, and the more unbelievable, the better. The more shocking, the better. The more amazing, the better. But I really focus, when I coach clients on this, I focus on the unbelievable. You want it to be something where somebody says, no way, and completely not true, and they just completely dismiss you, but not completely.
Yeah. Almost. Get them to the point where they almost dismiss you because it sounds so
Almost
absurd.
dismiss you completely.
Yes.
'Cause it's so ridiculous.
That's the goal right there.
Okay, winning liquefied, so good. All right, so we got an example here, and I love this example because there's so much tied into one little headline here. So let's hit this example.
So the example says, man tries to hug a wild lion. You won't believe what happens next.
Okay, so this one's good. I'm gonna say it's not the greatest though, because why is it not the greatest, James?
Because they could have used an even scarier animal.
Exactly.
Or even like an unbelievable animal. You could have said a leviathan or something.
A unicorn.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so that is what they were missing out on here. I mean, I hug lions all the time. It's not that big of a deal, honestly.
Yeah. Well, when you have a pet lion, it's a little easier to do this kind of thing.
Exactly. So, it's not very impressive, honestly. They got the formula right, where you have the amazing thing, and then it's like you have to find out what comes next because you won't believe it. Okay, and that is another big part of clickbait is telling people what they will and won't do.
Right. You have to tell them how to feel and how to react to whatever they're about to read.
And what they can't do and won't do.
Right.
Won't be
you
able
have
to
to
do.
tell them, give them all the guidelines. Sometimes you'll have some fine print underneath of the headline just to tell them, results not typical, results are not guaranteed, that type of thing.
Okay, so to make this one better, I would make it more amazing. I would make it more unbelievable. I would make it more shocking. So I would say something like, man tries to hug a giant squid. You won't understand what happens next. See, I changed the believe to understand there. I think that would be a good switch there. Because...
It's
So
a good, it's a
the
good
next
word.
one, we've got another example here. Let's run through. So these are shocking, amazing, unbelievable. Got another couple examples. Love the examples. We really need this. All right, so let's get example number 1.2.
1.2 is, Michael started drinking 2 glasses of bitter gourd juice every day for 7 days, and the results are amazing. That one's a little lackluster.
Yeah,
Amazing is pretty
this is weak sauce.
kind of weak.
No, okay. Next example. Hopefully it's a little better.
1.3 is, a schoolgirl gave her lunch to a homeless man. What he did next will leave you in tears. That's a little better. We got the emotional.
A little
play
better.
there.
Okay, I don't find it very unbelievable though. Okay, so that is the key point. So I would say something like
The part about you being in tears, like that's unbelievable.
No, it is not terribly believable. But I think the part that we could go really focus on here is maybe do something like a schoolgirl gave her lunch to a homeless man for 12 years. What he did next will leave you in tears. See, that's more unbelievable because someone's like, "Oh, she gave her lunch. Like, so what? Like, I have like 5 lunches.
Right.
I don't care."
Well, that means she started in kindergarten, or third grade. She started in 12 years later.
Well, it depends on where she went to college.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think that would be a much better thing to do there.
Okay.
Or we could go a schoolgirl gave, if you wanted to limit the number of lunches, you could say a schoolgirl gave her lunch to, and then throw something in there. So gave her lunch to a cyborg. Okay, something like that. Like people are like, wow,
They don't even eat.
Cyborgs are great for this sort of clickbait stuff.
Right. Very relatable.
Okay, so that was number 1. It needs to be unbelievable, shocking, amazing, all that good stuff. So that is the first category of clickbait. Let's hit the second category of clickbait.
Second is celebrity gossip.
Love this one.
And I would say particularly celebrity gossip about Brad Johnson, because obviously that's going to get clicked on all the time.
Yeah, the hashtag proves it. Okay, so let's just jump right into this first example here.
First example is...
James, come on.
It's
not funny. We're going to have to cut this. It's all sorts of editing.
There's a cute picture here. I'm sorry.
Read the thing.
Okay. It says, remember the baby who played the role of baby in the movie Babies Grow Up? This is how he looks now, absolutely hot.
Oh man. Okay, that's bad. I'm cringing right now. Okay, the one thing they did right, you guys can't see this, but there's 2 pictures of the baby, and then there's a picture, so it's trying to jog your memory, but nobody has seen that movie. I will guarantee you,
I've never even heard
no
of
one
it.
has ever seen that movie. But if you had, you would recognize those 2 pictures, and then they have like this little cutout picture of like the guy's lower jaw, and you're like, wow, that is a good looking jaw. What does the rest of him look like? So that's
the key.
Yeah, that's the key. However, this headline is all wrong. Let's break it down, show you what they got wrong. Okay. Remember the baby who played the role of baby in the movie Babies Grow Up. Okay. The use of the word baby right there.
Way too prevalent.
Way too much. Okay.
People don't like babies at all.
They drive down click rates like crazy. So you don't want to use the word baby. Maybe just throw it in for like human,
Justin
infant,
Bieber
non-adult.
used it effectively, but
it's
it was
one
a
of
little
those,
different.
Yeah, it was
different situation.
Clickbait versus hit songs, different. So then this is how he looks now, absolutely hot. That's wrong. Okay, you want to pose it as a question because people can't stand questions, can they?
No. They don't know how to answer them.
Okay, so we're going to reword this to be something like, "Can you believe how he looks now?" ? And then you could have something like, "He's," and then ...
Or you could put, "Is he absolutely hot?"
No, that would not work. Okay, next example.
21 stars who ruined their face due to plastic surgery. Talk about regrets.
I love this one. Yes. Okay, so there's something within us that is cynical. Okay, when you're on top like I am, you understand that people just hate the winners. There's just something about it. It's just that hashtag loserliness where people want to be like you, but they're not. So they try and tear you down. So something like you can kind of capitalize on this with some headline similar to this one. I would say 21 stars who ruined their face due to plastic surgery. Can you believe number 7 or something like that? I think that is a key that they're missing in that one.
Get them to jump around in the article and get you even more clicks.
Exactly. All right, so let's get into one of these examples for mysterious stories.
So the first example they have here is man divorced his wife.
All right, fantastic. And I say that very sincerely because it was fantastic. Somebody told me the other day, like, Brad, seriously, how are you charging so little for the amazingness that is the Brad Johnson Show video course? And I told him, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm probably taking a loss. But when you're as rich as I am, taking a loss doesn't really hurt. But that being said, there's definitely still a need for support of the podcast, of the show, so that if you want to do that, you can purchase the course, and I would really recommend doing that because these are just sneak peeks. You're not getting the full episode. You're not getting the awesome video part of it. There's so much more that goes into the Brad Johnson Show course than just the podcast because there's actually a way to see it with your eyes, which you can't do with the podcast, surprisingly enough. So thanks, guys, for listening today. Remember to share the podcast with somebody that you know who would enjoy some of this winningness, because if you find this valuable, if you find this entertaining, which I know you do, I mean, it's me talking right here through your ears right now, and therefore it is entertaining, therefore it is valuable, and therefore you should share it. So do that. Make me proud, okay? That's what I'm saying. Make me proud. We'll talk to you next time. Ciao.
You've just listened to an episode of Awesomeness. Now, go out and spread the awesomeness and help others fix the mess that is their life and help them stop being elusive and start winning in business, health, and their personal life by getting them to listen to The Brad Johnson Show. Book your face, tweet your tweets, and Insta your grams at Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.